Hello everyone, special hello to Panda Child. Today I'm going to explain how to do a slip knot. That shouldn't take more than a few minutes. For real this time though, I will show you the one that I usually do. There is another one that I will also show. There's a couple of other ways you can also do it. I'm going to show you the two that I know and the one that I prefer personally. But if neither one of those are doing it for you, like there are other ways to also still make a slip knot, and those are all totally fine. It's all a personal preference. That was the cat. He may or may not try to come up here and also be a part of this introduction, but I sincerely hope not. So I explained what kind of hooks were and what different kinds of yarns were yesterday. It dawned on me though, just by seeing my face again, that perhaps if you didn't understand what the hooks were and you didn't know about the yarn, that you weren't really going to know how to hold a hook and you weren't going to know how to hold the yarn. So this is just a quick little crash course in how to hold a hook and how to hold the yarn, and that might help when you're doing the crochet later. So we'll start with the hook. Brought all the different kinds of hooks out again. Once again, yeah, doesn't matter what kind of hook you use. Whatever these kinds of hooks you have, that's the one you use. The parts are they're basically the same. They just might look slightly different, right? So they all have the head, they all have the throat, they all have this kind of shaft part, and then they all have the handle and the thumb grip, right? So your thumb goes on the thumb grip. I hold them like this. This lets me move my pointer finger up, and that lets me kind of control the flow of my hook itself, similarly to how you hold silverware. Another way some people like doing it, it's very, very unnatural for me, probably because I was taught, or like I did this right-handed and I'm left-handed, and so I don't write with my right hand, so holding it like a pencil doesn't make any sense for my right hand. But if I was to pop it into my left hand to show you, put the thumb on the thing, you've got that. This part is resting up on the top instead of in the grip I prefer, where the handle is in the palm of your hand. Either one is fine. You just want to make sure you have control of this. That's the main part of this. If neither one of those is quite right for you and it's making your hand cramp, then just kind of fool with how to hold it that feels the best for you. You do not have to crochet right-handed. If you are left-handed, you can crochet left-handed. That is fine. Hold the hook in your dominant hand instead. I'll show you all right-handed. If any of you happen to be left-handed and this gets weird and you really want to see it left-handed, let me know. I'll see if I can't zazz something up for you, because it was harder for me to learn at first because I was doing it backwards for me. So talked about how it has this piece in here and it has the head and the little throat and this part. So when you're doing all of your yarn-ons and when you're gonna do a yarn over and a pull through and all of these things as time goes on and you're learning the stitches, when you get them on the hook, you do not want to tighten them into that small part. You want them down here, but you don't want them way down here either. You just want them in this area right in there, close to the head, but not where it's super tight, or you won't be able to work with them because they'll be so tight they won't fit on your hook anymore. So I'm going to set this down for a moment and I'm going to show you how to hold yarn, sort of. So I got a medium weight yarn here. Going to be honest, all of the ways that I was always told that you're supposed to hold your yarn didn't make any sense to me, and it made it really hard. I didn't understand how to release it so that it would slide, so I don't actually do any of them. Crochet, I keep it in my hand and I kind of let it release on its own, but I have it gripped underneath. That works best for me. Ways that people have done it, they drape it like that, or it's in their hand like that, right? So that when you tighten it, it won't move, but when you loosen your fingers, it slides. That entire concept was, like, I couldn't make it work for me, so I don't do it. Another one is they wrap it underway, so it's in there. They wrap it around for even more control. So if they hold their pinky and stuff tight, it stops it. If they release it, it slides again. That was not going to work for me. And then there's where it's wrapped around your pointer instead, because then they can hold it like that. I don't like any of it wrapped around me. and I don't like it on the top of my hand. So everything I do, I have it in my palm. And that's okay too. The main thing is you want something that helps kind of control the tension itself. So you don't want it really, really, really tight because then you can't work in it. But if it's really loose, it'll end up being kind of sloppy. So you need something that lets you have the same even pressure over the entire project. So however it is that you need to hold the yarn that lets you kind of control the tension, then that's what you need to do. Those are the different methods that you'll see. Some of them will tell you this is how you have to do it. You don't. It's just not true. You don't have to do it like that. And if doing it like that is making it really hard and like it can't be done for you, then that is definitely not how you do it, okay? If you're like me and you have really long hair before you start crocheting, the other thing you need to do is what I have done today, which is pull it back. Get it out of the way. Because if it is down, and it is in your way, and you go to start crocheting, you do run a risk of crocheting your hair into your project while it is still attached to your head. So just get it out of the way, whatever that means. Doesn't have to be fancy, although this is a very fancy thing I've done. It doesn't have to be as fancy as that if you don't want it to be. And I think that is really everything you need to know about how to do the thing. Right? If you have any questions or if you have anything you need me to clarify further, just let me know. I am gonna go ahead and stop this part of it so that I can turn it around and I can show you how to do the slip knot.